It's all about humanity.
And here we are again. Welcome in, everyone. It is 6 p.m. here in the UK. I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, better known as a Bitcoin Boomer. Today is the 1st of December, 2025. As always, strong Bitcoin hand, people. You need it right now. It is volatile out there, is it not? Anyway, 1st of December. So let me be the first one to wish you all a Merry Christmas season. I know it's only the 1st of December, but of course, we turn the 1st of December and everybody goes nuts on Christmas. So happy Christmas to everyone. I can see everyone joining in the chat. So I'll get on with the normal preliminaries and then we'll see who we've got in the chat. Okay, firstly, if you're finding my channel for the first time, it is imperative you listen to this. Do your own research. Don't listen to anything I've got to say. You know, people invest for their reasons, not my reasons. Don't come here looking for charts, price predictions, TA, all that type of stuff. It's not the place. So go somewhere else. If you're okay with some bullish Bitcoin conversation for around 30 minutes, then come and join us every Monday and every Thursday, 6 p.m. UK time, where I'll do my best to inspire you all. Also, I would encourage you all to follow me somewhere else. I say this on every show. My channel, for whatever reason, was taken down by YouTube nearly 4 years ago now, and there is no reason. There's no rhyme or reason. So if you were following me, say, on my backup YouTube channel called UK Bitcoiner, you'll get no notifications because the channel's dormant. But if this channel goes down again, I will simply, in a heartbeat, move this streaming software to UK Bitcoiner, and then I'll go live. That way, you would see I've gone live because then you would get a notification and you would get continuity. Of course, if you don't want to do that, this is also going out live right now on Rumble, although there's nobody in the chat, as always. UK BitcoinMaster 1, that's the number 1 on the end. So you could follow me on Rumble if you want, because it's going out live simultaneously across YouTube and Rumble as we speak. A shout out to show sponsor number 1, the best of Exmoor, a brilliant holiday company here in the UK that are Bitcoiners. Top left, you can see that. They accept Bitcoin. They own Bitcoin. They've been in Bitcoin since 2017. So they're an OG, a bit like myself and many of you on the call. I think they've got around 200 holiday cottages in Exmoor National Park in the southwest corner of the UK. We've been to 2 of them now, and both of them were superb. I can't rate them highly enough. So they've got something for everyone. So because they are sponsors of the show and you are my regular followers of the show, I would encourage you either to go into the show notes, click on the link and follow me somewhere else. Also click this link and have a look around, or scan the QR code so you can see what they are all about. Okay, let's get back to me. So, as always, let me see who we've got in our chat. My wonderful regular supporters. John G is with us. Eddie Willers is in the house. Chelsea Baz also. Elaine, Mrs. UK. I guess she's in the house. She's downstairs. Sorry, that joke's wearing thin, I guess. Yorkie Bitcoiner. We've got Chelsea Baz is with us. We've got Pastor Phil Volman. Phil, what did you like when you managed to join us live, sir? Always great to have you in the house. We've got Barefoot Barry coming in from New Zealand, no less. Good to have New Zealand in the house. Mr. 60 is with us. Steve Redding has joined us. We've got Glyn coming in from Mexico. So we might be a small group, but I guess we've got a complete global channel, which I absolutely love. Ramo, good to see you. Looking forward to seeing you in... well, we won't talk anything about that one, Ramo, actually. There you go. I see what you put out, and we'll leave it there. But I'm looking forward to seeing you on Friday nonetheless. So anybody that lives in or near Wiltshire in the UK, Wiltshire, we call it here in the UK. We have a meetup that I will give you some details on Thursday, a brand new venue. So I won't do that right now, but looking forward to that one. So if you want to come to an in-person meetup and meet real Bitcoiners and touch them and feel them and pinch them in the flesh to know that we are real, come and join us on Friday for our Christmas Bitcoin meetup. Okay, so I want to get on with the show. I'm sure there are some of you, maybe many of you, that are freaking out right now with what's going on with the price, even though in the channel on the live chat you say, I'm bullish, everything's okay. Nobody likes to see the price drop, do they? Okay. Now, we're currently set at $85,050. You're currently getting 1,176 sats per dollar. So if you want to view it that way, sats are on sale. This is not going to be this way forever, I can tell you, because I've been saying this on the show for a long time now, that we've got a coiled spring going on here. But, Bitcoin will go at some point. None of us know when. We might have to endure a bit of a downturn, a bear market. Who knows? None of us have got a crystal ball. But you know what? It really is a buying opportunity at 85,000 when the top was 126,000. But if you're worrying about what's going on with the price, of course, you might then turn to, is it being engineered? Is it being manipulated? And you know what? I don't know. I can't make that conspiracy theory. What I can do is say to you with my own perspective and my own thoughts, something really fishy is going on here, and I'll explain why shortly. But Justin is in the house as well. Good to see you, Justin. Let's get on with the show and you'll see what I mean. Okay, first article. The S&P 500 declines to add strategy yet again. S&P Dow Jones Indices has declined to add MicroStrategy to its S&P 500 index again. Instead of MSTR, the world's most prestigious stock index chose SanDisk to replace Interpublic Group. The S&P 500 establishes technical criteria for inclusion, and founder Michael Saylor has ensured that Strategy's MSTR common stock satisfies every metric. Nonetheless, the committee has declined to add MSTR for months. Okay, so there's the first thing. Why the heck are they doing that if it isn't an attack on Bitcoiners? If you think the then they fight you stage is here, and I've said, it looks like we're in it, I think we've still got it ahead, because they're now starting to realize that there ain't no stopping this train, and you've got to, if you can't beat us, join us, is the old adage. And I think there's a lot of this at play right now, particularly when we go to this next one. JP Morgan Chase has issued the first structured note on the market for spot Bitcoin ETFs, i.e., I will sack anybody in my company that is using or holding or talking about Bitcoin. My daughter owns Bitcoin. Jamie Dimon, the banker of somebody whose name I will not mention for fear of getting the channel shut down, but you know who I mean if you follow Jack Mallers. This is the guy, the company that I think are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. I don't know for sure. I haven't got a magic wand. I haven't got any insider information, but something is going on here, and I'm totally convinced that it is designed to shake out weak hands. I am convinced it is totally designed to try and shake you and I out of our Bitcoin cheap, and they want to get as much as they can before the price goes in the only direction it can go. Now, don't take any of that as financial advice. It is not. It is just my feelings. So, JP Morgan Chase has issued a structured note whose yield depends on the movement of the price of BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF, IBIT. The notes have a minimum fixed yield of 16% if IBIT exceeds certain price thresholds in a year. If this condition is met, the note is automatically redeemed, auto-call, and the investor receives a coupon and a return of capital. At the time, the JP Morgan Chase notes offers built-in partial capital protection against volatility, like one of Saylor's does. If IBIT fails, the investor only incurs losses if the decline exceeds 30%. Up to this point, losses are offset by the structure. Now, according to Bloomberg, investors will receive the highest returns if the price of BTC remains below a certain level in 2026, but rises sharply by the end of 2028. Thus, structured notes from JP Morgan Chase offer a bet on a repeat of the traditional 4-year cycle in the crypto market. Okay. I don't know where they're getting their information from. And I think it's a dodgy bet to assume the 4-year cycles are going to continue. But, just me sounding off, do you think they are crashing the market to push us into a bear market, to, enforce that the 4-year cycle continues, i.e. a bear market after maybe the bull run, the high of 126 something? Are they forcing that to keep the forward? I don't know. Listen, I'm not a financial guy. I don't understand half of what is going on out there. I just watch enough podcasts from people that do know what they're talking about to make me think, is there something bigger at play here to try and manipulate all of this to their own ends? I don't know. I'm just giving you ideas on the show. Okay, what else? It doesn't stop there. Tether CEO pushes back after S&P downgrades USDT to its lowest rating. Okay, only one of the most successful companies on planet Earth in terms of their turnover per employee, and yet they've now downgraded them. I just don't get all this. It doesn't make any sense to me apart from market manipulation. Tether CEO Paolo Ardoino issued a sharp rebuttal after S&P Global assigned the company's USDT stablecoin its lowest score under the agency's 5-tier risk framework. To S&P regarding your Tether rating, he said, "We wear your loathing with pride. The classical rating models built for legacy financial institutions historically led private and institutional investors to invest their wealth into companies that, despite being attributed investment grade." Paolo Ardoino, November the 26th, 2025. What all of that jargon means, I don't have a clue. Don't ask me. I'm just saying there is something really weird going on here. And let me tell you what we're doing. Battening down the hatches and hodling on for dear life, because ultimately, for me, Bitcoin wins this, ultimately. Just see if we got a Seafrost Flooring. Mr. Clarkey, good to see you guys in the chat. As always, watching at work, love it. Yeah, better than work, isn't it? Work's an overrated pastime, in my opinion. Mr. Clarkey, good to have you and Seafrost Flooring here. What else have we got? Okay, we move on. Look at this. FC Barcelona, this is in Spain, obviously, under fire for signing crypto partner ZKP, promoted by Andrew Tate. FC Barcelona has come under fire for signing a 3-year sponsorship deal with a Samoa-based cryptocurrency firm promoted by the controversial influencer Andrew Tate. The company Zero Knowledge Proof, that's the ZKP, was following just 3 online accounts: FC Barcelona, Bitcoin, and Andrew Tate. When the deal was announced, the company discloses no leadership or ownership while claiming 100 million in financing. The move has intensified scrutiny of Barcelona's search for revenue as the club navigates heavy debt and a costly stadium redevelopment, raising concerns it is taking commercial and reputational risks through an opaque crypto company. Quote, "It seems like a bad joke, but unfortunately it's real," former Barcelona board director Xavier Villahona said on X. That wasn't bad, wasn't it, for a Brit? Calling on the club to explain the due diligence process carried out before approving this agreement. This is really interesting because I'm a big soccer fan. You call it in America, we call it football, but of course you've got your American football. So in the UK, it's football. I'm a big football fan. We both, Elaine and I, are football fans, and we follow the Champions League and Real Madrid and Barcelona and all the big clubs. And I'm just shocked that they're in this state. They're in this mess looking for revenue with mounting debts. But you know what? It just goes to show even incredibly successful businesses like Barcelona FC can get themselves in hock and then have to turn to crappy crypto to try and get themselves out of it. You know, all they needed to really do was just buy and hold Bitcoin and wait. And they'd have done really well. But here's what it is. We can't change it. I'm just bringing you what is breaking in the news out there. You got this one. Bitcoin hits most oversold levels in history. Is there a massive rally incoming? Well, you could look at the price right now and say, no, probably not. I'm scared. But you know what? If you're looking at this day to day, week to week, month to month, you're doing it all wrong. You need to look at it in at least 4, 5, 6, or even 8 or 10-year cycles to understand where the thing is going. Phil C. Phil, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for joining us from the other side of the world. Really appreciate you in the house. All the experts are saying and all the charts are showing that Bitcoin is really oversold. And when it's oversold, 9 times out of 10, there's only one direction it can go. People start buying it again. And that's just me, the layman Brit, talking. It just makes sense. If it's oversold, people must want to start accumulating it again. So the 2-year MVRV Z-score shows Bitcoin at its lowest historical levels, comparable to previous major market bottoms in 2018 and 2022. So we're down there with 2022 debacle after Sam Bankster fraud and all the others did what they did, and we're down there now with no logical reason apart from macro, apart from the US government shutting down for the whole of October and then filling up their big account. They've got their, whatever it's called, Treasury TGA account or whatever it was, and of course that sucks liquidity out of the system. You've got macro stuff going on all around the world, you know, and right now Bitcoin's too small an asset to survive and thrive from that, so it goes down with it. That does not mean Bitcoin is dead. Analyst Michael van der Pop identifies a hidden bullish divergence following October's massive liquidation event and subsequent price crashes. Large traders are positioning bullish with high-level longs on BTC and ETH, while Arthur Hayes accumulates his crap coins. He can do whatever he wants to do. The point is, people, the Bitcoin fundamentals are strong. You got a golden opportunity to be mopping up Bitcoin, 1,172 sats for $1. When I remember a few weeks back, we were in the 900 and 800 sats per $1. So mop it up, if you will. Bitcoin is redrawing where cities and data centers rise as it competes for wasted energy, not cheap labor like other companies do. I remember many, many years ago, British Telecom, or BT as it's called here in the UK, they farmed all of their call centers out to India to get cheap labor. It was a total disaster, a total train wreck. Do you know what? Bitcoin doesn't have to do that. It just places its data centers where they can get the cheapest and a wasted, stranded energy, which is awesome. For 2 centuries, factories chased cheap hands and dense ports. Today, miners roll into windy plateaus and hydro spillways, asking a simpler question. Where are the cheapest wasted watts? When computing can move to energy rather than energy to people, then the map tilts. Heavy industry has always chased cheap energy, but it still needed bodies and ships. The novelty with Bitcoin is how completely labor, logistics, and physical product have dropped out of the siting equation altogether. A mining plant can be one warehouse, a dozen staff, a stack of ASICs, and a fiber line. Its output is pure block rewards, not a bulky commodity that must be shipped. That lets miners plug into genuinely stranded or curtailed energy that no conventional factory would bother to reach and to rush when policy or prices change. Bitcoin isn't the first energy-seeking industry, but it is the first large industry whose primary location bid is give me your cheapest wasted megawatt and I'll show up with labor nearly irrelevant. That is flipping awesome. I hope you agree. And there's a use case for Bitcoin right there for those that says it doesn't have one. Quick shout out, if you're not on the Orange Pill app, or the Club Orange as it's now called, check it out. If you use my link and take out any subscription, even a 1-month trial, you can get 5,000 sats once you've done that. My link is in the show notes. Show sponsor number 2, by the Book Accountancy. This is Robin Thatcher. He heads that up, also known as Crypto Tax Help. Also, the Bitcoin and Crypto Accountant, I believe, on X. Follow him there because he always gives good stuff relevant to the UK. There's a lot going on in the UK right now, particularly January the 1st, exactly a month today, where I believe CARF or CARF is rolling out, where all exchanges here in the UK and service in the UK have got to give HMRC all of your data. So, well worth taking 30 minutes with Robin to find out if you're all set up or not. If you do, however, please tell him that I sent you. Please tell him that you heard about him through my show so that he knows that sponsoring my show is proving worth it for him. Vinny Rondo is in the house. I see Stacking Richie in Rumble. Good to see you over there, Richie, on your little old lonesome. Nobody else in there with you, but good to see you nonetheless. Just making sure I haven't missed anybody. Oh, Richie's also in YouTube as well. What do you like? Nobody else I've missed. Bitcoin Energy 1. Good to see you in the house as well. Moving on, some great tweets here. Coin Bureau, the UK to track all crypto trades. I just told you about this. Starting January 1, 26, exchanges must collect all UK users' transaction data and send it to HMRC the following tax year. This will help HMRC check tax returns and stop crypto tax evasion. Let me tell you now, this is all about surveillance, people. They want to know what you're spending your money on, why you're spending it, how much you're spending, where you live. They want to know everything. We were out for dinner yesterday and I couldn't stand it that once I paid for dinner, I looked at my banking app and it said exactly where I was. It's like, oh, dear, oh dear. Just mind-numbing, absolutely is, because they know everything about you. I thought this one was great, tongue-in-cheek, if I can share it with you. The new EU flag just dropped. Look at it closely and you'll see the joke in there. But, you know, this is what it's all about, people. The surveillance state. They want to know it all. I've got my cold card queue I ordered, and it's just got here in the UK. And all of a sudden, I've had FedEx reach out to me. And because I do not use my full name, and it gets sent to a pseudonym address and then forwarded to me, all of a sudden, they won't send it unless I give them my full name. And I've got a cold card queue waiting at an airport. And it's like, you've got to be kidding me. And it's like, well, I want the cold card queue. So what do? I'm trapped. I'm going to have to give them my full name, which I definitely don't want to do. Drive me mad. Sorry. There you go. That's why I had to put that one up. What else? Just in, Turkmenistan president signs bill to legalize Bitcoin and crypto starting in 2026. It is all happening. It doesn't stop there. Thailand just eliminated capital gains on Bitcoin. Countries wouldn't do this unless they want capital, and Bitcoin brings that capital. Then we've got this one from Vivek. CNBC announced live on TV that Walmart will now accept Bitcoin and crypto via OnePay Cash. They have over 150 million users, people. For those of you freaking out about the price being down, everything I show you tells you clearly and concisely that the adoption curve continues. All you got to do is strap in and be patient. The BTC Stacker, welcome. Good to have you in the house. Okay, moving on. Here's one from Adam Livingston. Normies think Bitcoin is risky because the people who engineered their debt, their inflation, and their manufacturer's hopelessness told them it was. These are the same institutions that run covert bailout programs, manipulate markets in the open, and treat the public like a beta test for compliance software. Bitcoin breaks their control grid. That is why normies are trained to panic. And if you don't believe me that there's nothing stopping this train, I'm going to show you a tweet from the most powerful man on earth in terms of wealth, Elon Musk. 500 billion, world's richest man, just said Bitcoin might be the only currency and money in the future. Bitcoin is based on energy, proof of work. It's true currency and physics based. You don't need to listen to me. Have a listen to Elon.
There's still some fundamental currencies, if you will, that are physics based. So energy is the true currency. This is why I said Bitcoin is based on energy. You can't legislate energy. You can't just, pass a law and suddenly have a lot of energy. It's very difficult to generate energy, or especially to harness energy in a useful way to do useful work. So I think that probably we won't have money, and probably we'll just have energy, power generation as the de facto currency.
This guy is incredible, and all of a sudden, this is the first time he's come out really since he sold some Bitcoin over the ESG FUD and said, Bitcoin could be the only money. If you don't read signal into that, then I don't know what you're listening to or watching, because to me, everything I hear and see, read, listen to, watch on podcast shows me the signal of where I think this thing might be going, not the short-term price going up and down like a fiddler's elbow. I love this final one from, I believe it's Bitcoin Sapiens. Bitcoin won't be adopted like the iPhone because it's cool. It will be adopted like gunpowder. And if you don't own it, you'll be its victim, said Saifedean and Moose. What an incredible tweet that is. It's so true. When gunpowder came out, everything changed. So, stay in, people. Don't get out of the markets. Stack while you can. This thing will recover. I just can't tell you when. And then I want to finish up with not a quote, not a meme, but I guess it is a meme. I saw this on Jack Mallers' show, which I thought was fantastic. And this was his dad. He said, markets will try and scare you out or wear you out. That's Bill Mallers. And that's what these markets are trying to do now. Either scare you out or wear you out with total boredom because the price is going absolutely nowhere. Don't let them do it, people. They want your Bitcoin. Give it to them at your peril. You will look back in a decade and live with total regret that you got freaked out at 85k, because however it works out, whether the 4-year cycle's dead, whether it isn't dead, whether this is an elongated cycle, look, no one knows that. Even the analysts can only go by previous history and previous charts. That does not mean to say that it doesn't all change in the future. Since I've been in Bitcoin, we haven't seen a bull market taper off like it did and then plummet into a bear market, apart from the double top of 2021, which, excuse me, was clearly, it was, what's the word I'm looking for? An anomaly, in my opinion. But maybe we are going into a bear market. I don't know. Maybe you think we're going into a bear market, so you sell out and you wait to ride it down and buy back in, and then Bitcoin does the opposite and does a runner, and then you're priced out and you got to buy back in higher. It just is not worth it, people. I can tell you, it really isn't worth it. So if you want to support me, there's some sats addresses. Thank you to everybody that recently dropped some sats. Stacking Richie again for the sats that you dropped, and there's a couple of others, forgot to name them. Blast. If you're watching now, you'll know who you are. I don't run this show for financial gain, but some people want to support me because the time and the effort that goes in, the research and the preparation. If that's you, drop a few sats, but you don't have to. I just thought it was there. I don't do this show for money. That's it. I'm done. I will be back on Thursday, 6 p.m. London, with yet another live show. Come and join me for that one. Until then, please retweet this. Consider subscribing if you haven't. If you have, hit the bell button on your way out. Please go back into the show when the stream has ended, refresh your browser and leave a comment, because it really does help spank that YouTube algorithm. Remember, if you're brand new, No financial advice here, people. Don't come looking for it. I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Boomer. This was your Bullish Bitcoin show for the 1st of December. I will be back on the 4th with another live show. Until then, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever you are doing. I'll leave you with this awesome song. It's from Chelsea Baz, one of our regulars, about broken money.